Henry, you got rejected from every internship you applied to, and most people will send more applications. But you open a text editor, and what you build next got you hired as the founding engineer at PodPitch, an AI platform now doing a couple of $1 million a year. Can you walk me back to that moment when you decide to stop applying for internships and start building?
Yeah, so I think that was back to the end of 2023, where the AI just first came to the attention of the public, and I saw it as a opportunities. And then like a couple of my friends from college were like thinking about like maybe we try to do something with AI because it was really the singularity for all of the students, right? Like the AI can really change the way that you interact. Like it can imitate as like a real human in front of you on the screen. So one of the friend of mine came to me, said like, hey, like we are preparing for all these interviews, right? So we can like build a tool that like imitate the whole process. And then we started like exploring like launching all the tags was like were really popular back then. And then we came up the MVP where like students can upload their resumes, and the AI will generate the questions and then use the voice AI. It was really the early age of the voice AI, so the voice doesn't sound like a real humans as now. You know how the 11 labs are doing today. So back then it was a little bit wonky, the voice, but it was really cool. And then we submit the app to Streamlit. Right now it's a company of Snowflake, and then they invited us to write a blog, and they promoted the tool on their gallery, on their home websites, the gallery, and I think it's still there. And it did caught a lot of attentions for us. And one day, the founder of PodPitch reached out to me, said, "Hey, I saw the tool that you've been building, and it's really cool. Here's what I'm thinking, and I think we should probably do the PodPitch together." That's the chance how I joined the PodPitch. I did apply to a lot of internships, and I did get mostly like 99%. I did get the rejections, but when I rewind the moment back to 2023, like I'm still grateful that the founder of PodPitch grabbed me out of the school, like took me out of the corporate environment, and like introduced me to the startup world. And it has been 2.5 years right now, and the whole experience is unreal to building a startup. And back then I had no idea we could be successful, but I think we make it. We are here.
Yeah, that's fascinating because often most people are not in your shoes, right? They struggle, like they're like applying and not getting jobs, and especially now with the advancement of AI. For you, from going to that place of, you know what, I'm actually demonstrate my skills, but by building something rather than just applying for internships and so on, made you seen. And actually, I think it's what most people look into nowadays, rather than looking at CVs or things, or I don't know. They look what people build, what real life experience they have, and you came with that, and the founder of PodPitch saw that in you and invited you on board.
Exactly, and that's exactly how we recruit people right now. we don't look at the schools like you've been going to a lot. Like we don't really care if you have been to like Stanford or like you've been to Harvard. It doesn't really matter to me. Uh, the first thing I see on the resume when I see a resume is like the projects that you have been on, like what have you been built? Have you ever contributed to any open source projects in the past? Have you like has your projects gained attentions before? Like I want to see the quality that are not usually taught by people. I think that's the way that we're trying to recruit people. I think there are like a tremendous amount of talents has been ignored, have to be ignored because they haven't been to the school like Harvard or like Stanford. Uh, I personally see the AI is an opportunity for the underrepresented students to be successful, more successful than before. Because with the power of AI, you can release your potential 10x more. Back when I applied to internship, and the ability that you can catch up on the students who have been really prestigious the whole life, like has been really prestigious, has been like the shot to catch up those people are really tremendous. Like, yeah.
And what's the basically the difference, right? Because in theory, everyone has access to the tools. What makes someone different and make you choose them than others? Let's say one student that was like maybe struggling, but with the help of AI was able to build things and actually take action. And some that maybe they're more gifted from other perspectives, but they struggle to leverage the tools.
Yes. Yes. So what we've been looking for is the early adopters. So like when the tool when one tool is released, if you see a graph, there's always you can segment it people like into different sort of groups, right? They are early adopters. They are people who the mainstream like like when people are start talking about in the social medias and like people start catching up, and there are people who been like lagged behind, like even right, like for example the people who not even using Hermes agents right now, like those people are like lags behind. Like I'm specifically looking for the early adopters. Like the tool you've been building could be like really like uh maybe just a scratch, right? It doesn't matter. But you are so open to the early technologies, and we welcome that any people who are like have the impulse to try that anything new is the exactly people we're looking for. Uh,
And what they do differently, apart from like testing tools right there and then when they are being released. So they are trying them, they are building things with them, but there must be something, some sort of abilities or skills that you say, all right, because there are probably 10 individuals that you look at, they all did the same. Try being early adopters, building something, but must be something that differentiate them.
yes. So uh so right now, like in the startup world, like one kind of people has becoming really, really more popular is we wish an engineer that can own a feature end to end. So like I know there's been a lot of discussion around this, right? So will there be product managers anymore, or like will there be any software engineers anymore? I think the role of PMs and software engineers are merged into together. The trend is becoming really obvious right now. So we've been looking for people that can own a feature E2E. So there's even no PM, no designer, no QA tester involved in the whole pipeline of releasing something from 0 to 1. A lot of students, like early people who are in their early career, right? They have the ability, they have like a lot of great thoughts. Like their ideas are like impeccable. They are super talented. They come up something that I could never come up in my life. But like the maturity of your product is really matters when it comes to applying for a job, especially in the startup world. Like how mature your like how mature can you go? Like how far can you think of your idea? Like can you push your idea to like there one idea can diverge to a lot of like one simple idea, like for example automation, like automation, email automation. There could be like several paths you can build like from the moment where you come up the email automation, right? Like so it's really depends on how you think, the thought process, like how mature your thought process is, like how many edge cases can you handle in your product. It's becoming very very important for us. We've been hiring a guy from in US this year. So he's a sophomore. He's a sophomore from National University of Singapore, and he's really really young. He's only like 20 years old, but his potential, like the ability that we see from him, is actually like enormous. Like he's probably the best hire of our organizations in the past 2 years because like the he's like really mature thought, like very thoughtful person that he can have the ideas coming up like we could never think of, and build anything from end to end with the power of AI.
And this is something that someone can develop, or do you think it's innate?
I think it's definitely something can be developed. So for my personal story, when I joined the PodPitch, the founder was looking for a software engineer, but I studied data science. So I had zero knowledge on software engineering back then. But that was 2023, like when I think when the Chat GPT just got released, not so long. But I really want the job, right? I really want to be a software engineer. I couldn't, like there was literally no chance for me to be a software engineer in such a short time before the age of AI. But I took the advantage of AI. I started using Cursor at the end of 2023. I think I was the first batch people who using Cursor. And then I just like started web coding stuff that start web coding like small stuff. And then I gained my software engineer knowledge through the web coding. I was like legitimately looking at the thought process of AI, like how they thinking. Like I ask AI to explain the concept to me. Like I had, like back then I had no idea what a message queue is. I do not know what fast API is. I totally had no idea. Uh, I asked AI to build things and then to convey the knowledge to me. I absorb the knowledge from AI, and then I think that 6 months, that first 6 months, I have learned more than the 4 years of college. Uh, this is the power of AI. Can how the like how powerful AI can enhance people right now.
Yeah, and I'll add that that's the power of action, actually doing things, trying things. And the smart thing that you did was actually telling AI not just to build things for you, but to teach you how they build it and to analyze the thought process behind it. Because often, how most people use AI nowadays is like just putting a goal there, or ask a question and or ask something to be built, but they never try to understand how that is being done, or how AI actually works, or how builds things, and so on. So understanding these basic principles will get you very far away nowadays with AI, because you, in case you, not just from the perspective of, because you had the goal to be a software engineer, but some people might be like, oh, I just want this tool to be built. I don't care how it's being built. Yes, but if you want to build something that not just it's production ready, but as well can be scalable or can be changed by you as well without breaking what you already built, and not, I don't know, starting maybe from scratch the same tool or whatever, you kind of need to understand how it works.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it's a fascinating time to be alive. And I think you're right when you say that now everyone that is entering this space or wanting to enter this space has the potential to fast forward their learning experience with the help of AI and to try things, build that reputation of someone that actually it's an early adopter, builds something out of these tools, and then the opportunities and doors opens like it did for you. And speaking of that, once that door open, once you join PodPitch, once you start using Coursera, once you start doing all these things, what surprised you the most when it comes to being part of a startup?
I think it actually come to like different phrases, right? How like we building the startup with AI. Uh, Back then, it only started with software engineering. We were using Cursor. That was 2 years ago. We started building the platform with the Cursor from scratch. But there's a like interesting trend I want to share right now is that we've been seeing like a lot of people from sales team are using from sales team and the customer support team. They all using the Cursor and Cloud Code. It's really fascinating that I see those tools are not only like developing like not only for software engineers but like for like a broader like a broader scope of our team. And the things becoming like really surprisingly efficient after the non-technical team members hop on the Codex or Cloud Code. We actually bought. We are actually like a token unlimited company for everyone. So like everyone can use this whatever amount of tokens you want. And we had like a $200 Codex subscription for everybody. And then like for example, like there's like a legitimate use case in our startup. That's like the whole pipeline got facilitated. Like before, the customer support agent got a complaint, got like a support ticket from the customer, right? They had to transfer the ticket to the engineer because they had no context of the platform. Like they don't have enough knowledge, the knowledge base of the platform. And they had to transfer it to the engineering team. The engineering team have to like took a deep look on it, and then go back to the customer support. The whole process could take a day if lucky enough. Could take several days if there are many tickets, right? But like once the customer support team have the cloud code, they actually just solve the like answer the customer questions, solve the issues by themselves, like E2E. There's no engineer involved. And it makes the engineering team can only focus on building the new features and only review the PR that the for the any bug issue that raised by another team member. So it really fascinating that the whole team is like really AI native. Yeah.
That's interesting, and so I want to address a few things there. The token unlimited part, and but this when non-technical team members fix issues on the platform without like talking to an engineer or something.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that, so for those that are not aware of the process, and personally I'm not aware as well how this can work in a way that in theory you can quote unquote undo the problem if they created a bug or if they broke something. But is it dangerous to push directly to production a fix?
That's right. We don't allow them to push the production.
Okay.
That's absolutely a big no for me. Even I'm like a super AI bullish person. That's a big no. But like what I always believe is the real issues right now, the real bottleneck for efficiency right now is not the agent tools you are using. It doesn't really matter if you're using Codex or Cloud Code. The what matters is the efficiency, how human can review the PRs, how to get the PRs more if like how to review the PR quickly, and then the tremendous amount of PRs that raised by AI agents can get into production. That's the real problem we are facing, is the efficiency of reviewing PR. So it doesn't really matter if the customer support like raise a PR from their codex, and it's what really matters is how like our engineers review it and how to push it to the production. And we're actually like really glad to see that like non-technical members start reading PR, because they have been like it's really like an effort to get adopted to the how AI works. It's like really it's like really relieving to see non-technical members start using AI. The quality is like I think you're right. Like the quality could be really bad sometimes, but I think eventually with a better model, right? Fable 5 just released. It's perfect for long running task, especially for fixing bugs, like small bugs. It's just like perfect model for that. With a better model, with a more and more time, they getting used to using AI to solve problems. I think, yeah, I see a bright future of non-technical members start using AI.
Yeah, and speaking of Fable 5, which got released yesterday, and imagine that we are recording this in the evening of Thursday, and actually almost 2 days ago, and I tried it since yesterday, and now for anyone that is doing the same thing, you know that it's part of Cloud Code subscription and so on, so you can still use it without actually being charged for the usage. But I'm checking the usage, and can you have a wild guess how much I actually spend in usage in like 1 day and a half?
Like your Cloud Code subscription usage?
Yeah, not the actual usage of Fable. Like I almost
Did you
200.
reach 50% of your subscription quota?
Yeah, so I'm on Max, and the even that I didn't reach at any given moment the usage time, I spent almost 200 million tokens of Fable. Even that I put it, yeah, so that's like almost 8,000 US dollars at the $50 charge they put on it. So that will be the price basically. So when this episode will go out, we'll be already in the paying for it. And on that note, like when you have unlimited tokens allowance for your team members, and when you have these exceptional models, but in the same time so token hungry and expensive, how do you plan to deal with it? Because I feel like in my case, I try to like use Fable to run Codex for the execution, and it's like spanning different agents for different things, but Fable just to do the thinking and the steering and the orchestrating. But even like that, I still cap around 200 million tokens.
So first of all, I'm super amazed. Like you spend this amount of tokens just in 1 day. That's amazing. You really are taking advantage of the Cloud Code subscriptions as much as you can.
Yeah, I have a few days left.
Okay, this is really amazing. So yeah, so we do have like token unlimited on Cursor, but one thing that's like we are really pushing our teammates. We have like around 20 to 25 team members around the whole organizations, like all departments. One thing that we're trying to introduce to them is to use the Cloud Code or Codex instead of Cursor, because as we all know, the Codex subsidize the tokens. So it's actually much cheaper if we buy a $200 subscriptions for the employees than just force them to use the paper token, right? If the volume is high enough. The same ideology as we are taking advantage of Fable 5 right now. I think, yeah. So, but like one thing, like there's like one philosophy I believe is that for most of the tasks, the idea is very controversial even inside of my team. A lot of people don't disagree with me, but like one thing I agree is that for most of the tasks, you actually do not need to use models like Opus 4.8 or GPT 5.5. Like for most of the tasks, like Composer 2.5 can nail it perfectly, or Kimi 2.5. And surprisingly, like if you have been trying the models more and more, like different models from even from different countries, right? Some models are from China, like a Queen or like a Kimi. They actually are like really good at certain specific tasks. For example, like Kimi 2.5. I'm not sure if I have been using that before. Kimi 2.5.
I haven't. I used Quen a couple of times and a couple of other models, but Kimi not yet.
Yes. So okay. So Kimi 2.5 is I don't remember exactly how much cheaper, but I think it's around like 10 times cheaper, like or 5 times cheaper than the most frontier model we have. However, on a very inside benchmark we have, Kimi 2.5 actually are super great at creative writings. They actually can write stuff like write a blog post or write a newsletter that are surprisingly innovative, like in a creative way that we couldn't see from like cloud. We could never see from cloud. It's like super creative. Like it's using, like for example, it's using words that are not commonly used in ChatGPT. Uh, we know that ChatGPT lacks using words like a certain words, right?
Yeah, a
Yeah,
lot of.
a lot of certain words like nudge, like words like that. Kimi 2.5, I think specifically trained and somehow like abandoned those like AI sloppy words and even M dash. They're using much less M dashes than the frontiers models we have. I'm not saying like they are a better model, like they're surely not, right? We from the benchmark we see, but they are perfectly good at certain tasks. And it's actually one of my favorite model for myself because like with the balance of speed and the price, it's actually my main model for my task.
Yeah, you convinced me to try it as well because indeed for most of the tasks that we do on a daily basis, we don't need the best models. And in my case, like one of the reasons why I consume so many tokens, I just refactor basically every single app that I build with AI, and that consume a lot. And I create a bunch of other apps and some other things. And I was like, and testing as well some workflows with third-party tools. For example, the tools that we are recording this podcast is called Descript, and they just released an MCP recently, and I basically connect Cloud Code to it and have already some skills and workflows that I used to post-produce the podcast. And now basically it took a lot. Like Fable 5 is slow. It took, I think, 1 hour and a half or something like that for an episode, but it produced like 3 long clips, 5 shorts, packaging for them, and the editing of the episode and all that. Welcome back, Henry. What happened?
Hey Gabe, yeah. So I was funny enough, I was running 5 cloud code agents while we were recording, and it ran off. My laptop runs out of memory, and the whole browser, the whole laptop just crashed. I have to restart. I'm really, really sorry for that. It's
No worries, that's actually funny, and in the same time, yeah, it's showing you in practice. But you practice what you preach, like running agents like crazy.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. So it was I was running them on a CMAX, like a terminal, a Termax based terminal where like there were like multiple work trees, are running on the multiple feature branches we have. Uh, One thing like I'm really like taking advantage of Fable 5 for my cloud code subscriptions because there's only like 12 days left, I think, from today. Uh, so there like a lot of need to do, like cleaning up the dead codes. Uh, a lot of things are running on the background. I stopped them right now. I'll continue running them after the recording.
Awesome. So we are safe, and that's cool. That's cool because indeed, like I was almost before hitting record, thinking like, what else I need to do in order to start an agent running, and I was like, maybe I should not do that. But usually it's not that big of a problem. But indeed, this if you run multiple agents, can like spin up. Like for example, now my battery, if I don't plug it in, it's gone in like 1 2 hours, and usually whole day it's enough. But now with these agents running in the background, you cannot do it. But speaking of building and PodPitch, for those that are not aware, what do you guys do?
So we are a platform that help majorly PR agencies to identify podcasts, write personalized emails, and send emails in scale to the podcast host, so they can help their clients to get on the shows. And I think one data I can share is till today we are actually responsible for around 5% of guest bookings of all the podcasts
Wow,
around the world. Yeah.
that's a huge number, and for someone that is getting daily, like I think I get between 5 and 10 pitches to be on my show. Uh, you actually not sure. Did you use PodPitch to pitch?
I did use PodPitch to pitch to
And I
you.
said yes, and I said yes, so it works. But most doesn't. Like most pitches that I saw out there doesn't work. How is PodPitch different in order to make sure that the email doesn't get ignored?
Yeah, so the thing here is two keywords here is relevancy and personalization. So first of all, we have to really make the matches, right? The podcast matches are really relevant to the people. So in order to do that, we actually have a lot of exclusive data, like only us have. We've been like collecting or uh, machine learning in the past few years. So we know the taste or the guest preference of some podcast, and we also using the AI to match the podcast with the guest. So the number one key here is the relevancy. So the more relevant the show is, the higher chance they will accept a person as a guest. Uh, and secondly is personalization, right? So I think one thing that we are differentiated from other tools, you probably can see, is we really personalize email based on the way that the customer wants. So we not like sending the exact same email in scale, like to probably like the same email to thousands of podcast hosts. That's not what we do. We actually tailored every draft to the host, like based on the exact information we have on the host. So like for the pages I sent to you, like the thing like we may have like this is what gave likes, and here's are the past guests have been on the authority in the wild. So like that's why you should write page in this way. Those are some of the informations we have to make the pages really personalized, and it's
So
very
Yeah, so relevancy and personalization. And so you mentioned like 5% of the successful podcast pitches in the world are coming from PodPitch. And in terms of acceptance, like how fast people get results usually when start using PodPitch?
Yeah, it really depends on how much effort and volume that you want to put on. So a lot of some people's are sending pitch very lightly, right? They only send 3 or 4 per day. For customer like that, I think the overall process to get on podcast could be longer. If they will get on podcast, but it could take like 2 weeks or like 3 weeks, 4 weeks to get on a show. For people who actually want to put more effort and send more pitches per day, they probably can see positive results within a week.
And when you mention effort, like, so the process is not fully automated, what user can need to do and what the tool itself is doing?
Yeah, so we have different modes, right? So people can so you know how things works in traditional way, is people build their media list first, and then write email one by one and send them and like manage replies manually, follow up manually. That's how it works in the traditional way. Uh, they can still do the same thing on the platform. They can still build their media list and manually send emails one by one, like pre-approve before the pitch goes out. Uh, it does cut the time of their doing research, right? But the time of sending emails is still the same for those customers. I call them like pretty traditional, like old school customers. I respect them because they put in a lot of efforts to ensure the pitches are tailored like perfectly enough. And there are like also people who just like the early adopters I was describing before were like trust AI and they just like fully automate the whole process from like researching to pitching. And even the reply management is automated. So we detect the replies and then we help them categorize the replies. So some of the replies from hosts are positive, right? Some are out of office, and we will automatically reschedule the out of office ones to a later time when they come back. The whole process is automated. So for those people, they legitimately like they don't need to spend like a lot of hours on the platform, and they can still see good results. It's really like two philosophies of how people treat AI, and they are all satisfied on the platform.
Yeah, that's interesting, Ini, because for example, in my case, like I prefer more a personalized touch in the sense that while trust AI, I don't want to break the trust with or ruin my reputation. And some they don't care and they do go fully automated and like volume, and then I'll be able to land what I want. And yeah, that's true. Like multiple perspective, multiple ways of doing things. And for those that still wonder, like why they should use the PodPitch or similar services to be on podcast, what's the biggest benefits of being a guest?
Yeah. Uh, so for founders, like they're so podcast is actually the highest growing channel in the past 2 or 3 years. Podcasts and newsletters are like the two fattest growing channels in the past 2 years. I think one thing really caught my attention was the long form content of podcasts and newsletters. And one benefit of having a long form content is to build trust instead of just catching attention. Uh, right? Because short form content like a tweet can really catches people's attention like quickly. Uh, we some people are we call it like rage baiting. Uh, so it really catch attentions. but it doesn't really build the trust, right? So if you see all the tweets, it's like, do you trust the people who tweet them? I highly doubt them.
Yeah, exactly. Because if they just ask for attention with those type of rage.
Yeah. So, but like in the long form content like this, people can really see my thought process, like how I think about things, what are my views on the AI, what exactly is my journey, what are the inside stories that I don't normally share with people. The whole true myself, like the true myself is fully exposed to the audience, and it's really like a trust building process. For example, like a lot of e-commerce brands are benefiting a lot from the podcast, uh, because like e-commerce brand are mostly like are often doubted by the customers, like are you legit, or is your like healthy enough? Are you regulated? Things like that. But like in the long form content, uh, people like can really get deep into how the brand works, and like the things they couldn't see from TikToks or Instagrams. They can, yeah. So it's really a trust building process.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more because it's one thing to see someone for a few seconds or read a short tweet that is not sharing much, and another thing to consume 30 minutes, 1 hour, or even more of someone's thought process story. And after that, you kind of feel you know them. And
Yeah.
I know a lot of examples. For example, the big podcasts like Diary of a CEO. I know someone that went there and their business after that exploded because they were like got the attention of so many people, and sharing those frameworks they use and other things helped them a lot. And
Yeah, I do have a term for this. I refer it as like stickiness of a listener. Uh, so for like a TikTok, right? It does. I don't deny that like TikToks have a higher reach than podcasts. That's like factually true. If you have like a viral post on TikTok, it could reach to millions of people, like in a super short of period of time. Uh, but like how sticky the person who saw the TikTok viral, like the viral short video on TikTok, and how sticky the person who actually listened to the podcast, like the stickiness is like really different, right? So I don't believe like you still remember the things you saw from TikTok yesterday. You probably like you just don't remember. You not remember it at all. Uh, I don't remember it either, right? But like I still remember what I've been listening probably in the past month.
yeah, that's the thing, because once you consume something so detailed, and you often pay attention more when you watch a podcast or you listen to a podcast, because you don't listen normally to a podcast when doing some sort of like leisure type of work, like I don't know, like staying on a couch, or you do that when you're a bit active, like going to the gym and so on, and your mind is way more focused. And when it comes to scrolling, dumb scrolling, you're like, oh, just lazy on the bed, like, or on the couch, like scrolling, and of course you don't remember anything. But speaking of stickiness, for those that stick until the end, where they can get in touch with you and with PodPitch?
Yeah, so we do going to have a free trial going to be launched really soon. Uh, so please check it out at 3w.podpitch.com. And also, I have a Twitter. So please subscribe me on Twitter. I will post some interesting stuff about podcasts and PodPitch.
Awesome, and I'll put the links down below, and excited for the free trial to try it as well, because I will be on the other side of the mic more often, so can't wait to see how PodPitch work, and cannot thank you enough, Henry, for sharing your story, for coming here, and I'll see you around,
Yes.
and thank you so much again for joining Authority in the Wild.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was really epic conversations. It was so much fun talking with you. And thank you for the audience for listening to the episode. Please support Gabe.
Thank you so much. Same. Support Henry, support PodPitch. And this was Henry Jia on Authority in the Wild. And if this type of conversation made you think differently about podcasting, about software engineering, about AI and career, you know what to do. Follow along, and until next week, see you in the wild.